The cozy, well-lit living room was a stark contrast to the tension hanging in the air. Emma sat on the couch, folding the blanket, her eyes following Ross as he moved around the room, seemingly lost in thought. The remnants of Tyler's birthday party still lingered, with balloons and streamers scattered about. Emma glanced at Ross, noticing his distracted demeanor. You know, Tyler had a blast. He really loved the new train set, Emma said, trying to keep the conversation light. Ross offered a distracted smile, nodding as he stacked some dishes on the coffee table. His mind seemed elsewhere, deepening Emma's concern. Ross, is everything okay? You've been so quiet since we got back from the party, she asked, picking up his mood. Ross forced a casual shrug, avoiding eye contact as she grabbed a glass from the cabinet. Yeah, everything's fine. Just a long day, I guess, he said faintly. Emma's eye narrowed slightly, sensing that Ross was not being entirely honest. She set the blanket aside and stood up, walking over to him and gently touching his arm. You know, you could talk to me about anything, right? I could tell something's bothering you, she said softly. Ross hesitated, looking away as he fidgeted with the glass in his hand. He took a deep breath, struggling to maintain his composure. It's nothing, really, just a bit of work stress. You know how it is. He tried to sound nonchalant. Emma's expression showed a mixture of worry and frustration. She stepped closer, her voice firm but compassionate. Ross, this isn't like you, okay? You've been carrying this weight since Blake showed up. I don't want you to feel like you have to keep things from me, she said earnestly. Ross met her gaze, his eyes revealing a flicker of internal conflict. He opened his mouth to speak, but then closed it again, clearly struggling with how much to reveal. It's not just work, Emma. There's been a lot going on with Blake. We had a bit of a confrontation earlier, he said reluctantly. Emma's face fell, a flash of concern crossing her features. A confrontation? What happened? She asked carefully. Ross's face tightened, and he quickly tried to downplay the situation. It's nothing, just old stuff coming back up. We argue, but it's under control. I don't want to burden you with it, he said, brushing it off. Emma placed a reassuring hand on Ross's arm, her eyes filled with empathy. You don't have to go through this alone. Whatever's happening, we can handle it together. But you need to tell me what is really going on, she said gently. Ross looked at Emma, seeing the genuine concern in her eyes. He knew he couldn't keep hiding things from her, but he wasn't ready to fully open up yet. I appreciate it. I really appreciate that, Emma. I'll tell you more when I'm ready. Just give me some time, he said, deeply. Emma nodded, her face softening with understanding. Okay, just remember I'm here for you. We'll get through this together. Whatever it is, she said softly. Ross gave a small, grateful smile and pulled Emma into a comforting embrace. They held each other for a moment, the weight of unspoken concerns lingering between them. Emma's intuition told her there was more to Ross's struggle, but she respected his need for space. As they parted, Emma resumed tidying up, casting occasional worried glances at Ross, who was not seated, lost in thought. The room was filled with a quiet tension, a reflection of the deeper issues they were both grappling with. The early morning light filters gently through the kitchen window, casting a warm glow over the room. The smell of fresh coffee fills the air as Emma, already dressed for the day, prepares breakfast. Tyler, still in his pajamas, sits at the table eating a bowl of cereal. Ross enters the kitchen dressed in his rideshare uniform, a look of determination on his face. He gives Emma and Tyler a smile as he walks over to the coffee pot. Morning, everyone, Ross says cheerfully. Tyler, a bright-eyed 4-year-old, looks up from his cereal, his face lighting up with a sleepy but bright smile. Morning, Dad. Are you going to drive the cool car again today? Ross chuckles as he pours himself a cup of coffee. Yep, I'm headed out for a few rides this morning, helping people get where they need to go. Emma set a plate of toast on the table and walks over to Ross, placing a hand on his arm. Did you sleep well? Ross nods, taking a sip of his coffee, though a hint of exhaustion lingers in his eyes. Yeah, I got a decent rest, just a busy day ahead. Emma studied his face, still sensing an underlying tension, but choosing to focus on the positive. I'm sure you'll do great. Just be careful out there, okay? Ross nods, appreciating her support. He leans in to give her a quick kiss. I will. Thanks for understanding. He turns to Tyler, ruffling his hair playfully. And you, little man, be good for Mom. I'll see you after my shift, all right? Tyler nods, his cereal spoons in his hand. Okay, Dad, have a great day. Ross grabs his jacket and keys from the counter, preparing to head out of the door. Emma follows him to the door, still wearing a look of concern, but trying to keep her tone positive. Don't forget to take a deep breath and enjoy the day. It's going to be a beautiful one. Ross offers a reassuring smile, his hand on the door handle. I'll remember that, Emma. See you tonight. Ross opens the door, steps outside, and Emma watches him leave with a mixture of concern and hope. The door closes softly behind him. The sun is just rising, casting a golden hue over the quiet street. Ross gets into his rideshare car, starts the engine, takes a deep breath. As he pulls away from the driveway, he glances in the rearview mirror, his face reflecting a moment of contemplation before the focus is on the road ahead. As he drives away, his thoughtful expression hints at the challenges he faces, but also the commitment he has to his family. He reflects on an old saying, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. Ross has tried to be that guiding hand for his cousin Blake, encouraging him, helping him find work, doing everything he could to show him a better way. Despite all that, it feels like Blake is just not interested in changing his path. Ross wanted to be a role model, to show Blake there's a way out of the mess they were both caught up in. It's frustrating watching someone you care about make the same mistakes over and over and over again. At the end of the day, Ross knows he's done what he can. He just has to hope that someday Blake will see the value and the chances he has been given, even if he doesn't right now. Ross drives into the morning light, ready to tackle the day ahead.